I am super excited about this product. It is something I've been asking for over 2 years. This is one of those products you didn't know you needed until you tried it. And if you're serious about music streaming, if you're serious about music discovery, you may want to watch this video because this is the ultimate level of streaming music. And if you're looking for the most affordable way to do it, it starts right here. So sit down, grab a cup of coffee, and let's talk about the new Roon Nucleus One. This is the all-new Roon Nucleus One, and if you don't know what it is, don't worry, we're going to talk all about that later. It is the most affordable Roon core, and you need a Roon core to run Roon. The price is $499 US, and that's a deal, and I will explain why later. It can be pre-ordered right now. It's going to ship probably at the end of June. Most of you watching are men. Most of us squish our feelings down. Most of us don't talk about our feelings. But I've felt stressed. I've felt depressed. If you think these feelings are just gonna go away on their own, generally they don't. And doing nothing about it usually makes things worse in the long term. That's why I am super excited to be partnering with BetterHelp to sponsor today's video. Truth is, I never had the toolbox necessary to handle my emotions in a positive way. And there's a certain stigma associated with mental health and counseling in general. The belief that counseling is only for people with severe mental health issues makes people suffer alone, and it can come out in a variety of negative ways. BetterHelp has an incredible, effective approach to getting people the help that they need. And over 4 million people have turned to BetterHelp for a happier and healthier life. But here's how it works. You go to betterhelp.com/cheapaudioman. You answer a few questions, and you'll get matched with a licensed mental health therapist specializing in your specific needs, usually within 48 hours. The first time I saw a therapist is when I was transitioning from military life to civilian life. But I never would have got to the place I am today had it not been for counseling. Helped me understand and cope with life on life's terms, and it provided me with a strategy, an approach tailored to my unique life experiences. BetterHelp offers the same opportunity for you. You can speak to a professional with years of experience without feeling like a burden on your friends or family. It's a step towards regaining control of your life, and you can do it conveniently through calls, video chats, or even just messaging. So if this resonates with you, if you feel like this is something you need, please don't wait any longer. So check out betterhelp.com/cheapaudioman, and you'll get 10% off your first month. It's also linked in the description and the pinned comment. Remember, therapy just isn't for people with clinical issues. Really, it's for anybody that needs help through life's transitions. I don't know of a better use of your money than actually working on yourself. I've been talking about Roon for the last couple of years, and in the comments I'd always get kind of the same question. What is Roon and why do I need it? So Roon is a piece of software that integrates all of your digital music that you own, that you've ripped, you've put on a hard drive, and streaming services like Tidal and Qobuz. It does all the normal things that Qobuz or Tidal does, from playlist creation, but it takes it 100 steps further. It has the most sophisticated music recommendation engine that I've ever seen. It can do it automatically, but you can also dive deep into the metadata of the song. So if you're listening to your favorite song, you look at, who produced this song? And then you can click on that name, and then you can discover more songs, more albums that was produced by the same person. You can discover collaborations between your favorite artists and other artists that you didn't know existed. And all of that would be worth the price of admission itself, but it also provides DSP for all your Roon endpoints. And an endpoint is anything like a DAC, a streaming DAC, a streamer, an integrated amplifier with a DAC or a streamer. If you have a certain endpoint, maybe it's your DAC on your headphone rig. Depending upon the headphones, you can actually design different EQ settings for different devices. So if you have a small bookshelf system in your den or your office, and you want a little bit more bass and you don't want to add a subwoofer, you don't need to. You can just use the EQ in Roon. It does so much more, and I am not the expert. I have interviewed some people at Roon, and I will link that video at the end of this video if you want to learn more about Roon. But it all starts with the core. Core is doing the heavy lifting, the heavy computing to run Roon correctly. Now you can install a core or software on a laptop or a computer and run Roon that way. What I did when I first started out was I got a little Intel Nook. I think I paid about $300 for it. But then you have to install an operating system on the Intel Nook. And I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. Luckily for me, I had a really smart patron, Todd T, who's been awesome. He's been part of my Patreon community for a long time, which incidentally, if you want to become part of the greatest hi-fi community ever, you should check out my Patreon, patreon.com/cheapaudioman. We have a Discord server, we have a Facebook group, and on some Sundays we get together and do face-to-face Zooms. Anyway, I had to get the Intel Nook, which is about $300, and then I had to install an operating system on there. But buying a little mini computer and then putting an operating system on it isn't something that most people can do, or at least would be comfortable doing. And that's where the Nucleus One comes into play. It takes all the guesswork out of it, and it does it at a price that if I was doing it again, I would just buy the Roon Nucleus One. Because by the time you buy the mini computer, when you take the time to install an operating system, and I didn't get it right the first time, so I got frustrated. So for $500, if you're serious about music streaming and music discovery, this thing is a bargain. Really straightforward to get this thing working. If you don't have Roon, which incidentally, Roon used to be an annual subscription only, which there's a barrier of entry to trying Roon. Now it's a monthly subscription fee, just like it would be for Tidal or for Qobuz. So obviously the first thing you need is to have a Roon account. Then you get the Nucleus One, you open it up, you scan a QR code, and it tells you everything to do. Literally, the only thing that I had to do was plug it into my Wi-Fi extension network, because it needs to be on the same network that all your other devices are on. Plug in the power, turn it on, open up Roon, and you select it as your Roon core. Roon actually got purchased by Harman recently. I think that's pretty cool when a company the size of Harman likes this technology enough to buy it. The unit itself is very attractive. It's mostly made out of plastic. It's got a cool design on the top, and on the front it's got Roon kind of ghosted in, and it's very straightforward on the back. It has two USB Type A and an HDMI stereo or multi-channel audio output. You can play up to 6 different audio zones at the same time, which basically means you're playing the same thing to different endpoints in different rooms. You can add a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive inside of it, or you can connect up to 2 external hard drives to the back of it, which is what I do. I have all my music on a solid state drive, just connect it to the back, and you have access to all of that through software, which can be downloaded on your computer or on your phone or an iPad. Comes in about 4 pounds and is 9.5 inches by 9.5 inches. For me, this is a product that reduces the barrier of entry to Roon. If you really want the most out of your streaming music, if you really want to discover music that you never knew existed, this is definitely a product that you should consider. $500 is a lot. However, if you want to try Roon, you don't need it. You can install Roon on your computer. And if you're a little bit more techie, you can put it on a mini computer. But at this point, the price of the Roon Nucleus One kind of makes it unnecessary to get a mini computer. I love this product because it makes things easier for the customer. I love this product because I love Roon. And if you want to take your musical streaming experience to the highest level possible, then you may want to check out the Roon Nucleus One. Make sure to also check out my interview with Enno from Roon, because he goes into way more detail about Roon and what it can do for you. Thank you so much for watching.